More than 2,000 years ago, the ancient Greek historian Herodotus argued that the prosperity and vitality of a society is determined by the condition of its land, fertile soils. Until the end of the 19th century, life and soil were inseparable, giving people everything they needed for the healthy development and improvement of the species. However, in the 20th and 21st centuries, there has been an increasing use of mineral fertilizers and pesticides in agriculture, which leads to a catastrophic deterioration of the biogeosynosis of soils and food grown on these soils. In fact, we are destroying the immune system of the biosphere, our common cosmic home, planet Earth, the living fertile soil. We are destroying it with chemical fertilizers, toxic chemicals, and technological wastes of the whole Earth industry. But in this way, we first of all destroy our own health. When the first living organisms appeared on the planet millions of years ago, the Earth's nature found a way to utilize their waste products. Organic waste was processed into new organic nutrition, fertile humus, with the help of soil microorganisms, complex and indistinguishable to the simple eye biofactories. There should be at least 100 billion of them in each kilogram of fertile soil, and several thousand species, both aerobic and anaerobic. Each of them has its own narrow specialization in processing organic waste. Thus, the waste products of all living organisms in the course of biospheric evolution became the main nutrition for plants. The chaotic development of agricultural engineering has caused food to grow in one place and organic waste, including sewage, to be generated in another, thousands of kilometers away. At the same time, the removal of nutrients from the planet's living fertile soil, billions of tons annually, is not compensated for. Only 3 chemical elements, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, are mainly brought back into the soil, although plants take more than 80 elements from it during their growth, mainly from natural organic matter, that is, fertile humus. Moreover, simple and soluble chemical fertilizers produced by industry are applied to the soil of agricultural lands, but not complex organic insoluble humates created by life, as it was during hundreds of millions of previous years of evolution of life and the Earth's biosphere. The average person eats about 700 kilograms of food per year. As a result of metabolism, each person releases almost the same amount of waste into the environment. If this waste is converted into biohumus and put back into the soil where the crop was grown, the natural cycle of living matter, which was broken by mankind in the 20th and 21st centuries, will be restored. For more than 40 years, working on a rescue plan for humanity, I have rethought the existing global transportation infrastructure, energy, urbanism, and agriculture. I proposed a global concept of world reorganization to free millions of square kilometers of soil rolled up in asphalt and buried under sleepers. The freed territories, equal in area to the 6 republics of Belarus, will be returned to the actual land user, the Earth's biosphere. The fertility of these lands can be restored only through biohumus. Humus is the insoluble salts of humic acids, the main organic part of the soil that contains the nutrients that plants need.
Если вы хоть раз копали землю, то
If you have ever dug into the soil, you have probably seen that the top of the soil is a darker layer with a lot of roots and half-decayed plants. This is the humus layer, a living and fertile layer.
гумус улучшает
Humus improves the physical properties of the soil and is an excellent storehouse of nutrients. It increases a strong soil structure, which ensures favorable circulation of water and air.
гумус создает
Humus creates favorable conditions for the development and further activity of various useful soil microorganisms, both aerobic and anaerobic, as well as for earthworm, which performs the function of soil stomach. There should be at least 1 million of them on each hectare of meadow. The more worms, the more fertile the soil.
энергия, запасенная
The energy stored in lignite and oil shale is the relic solar energy received from our luminary by living organisms that lived on the planet 100 to 450 million years ago. Consequently, oil shale and lignite can be used not so much for generating electrical and thermal energy as for obtaining relic living humus, the basis of fertility of any soil. As such, biohumus will have the same chemical composition as an ancient tree that took everything necessary for life from the ancient relic soil.
для получения биогумуса
I have developed the following technology to produce biohumus. First, combustible minerals such as coal are burned, but not completely. Then, the combustion waste, ash, slag, sludge, dust, flue gases, is mixed with half of unburned oil shale or lignite. Then, raw materials of organic origin are added to it, meaning modern raw materials, grass, peat, sawdust, manure, including organic household waste. The resulting multi-component mixture is finally processed into living fertile humus in bioreactors through special soil microorganisms.
такие микроорганизмы
We take such microorganisms from the World Soil Cluster, which is a collection of fertile soils untouched by the plow, collected from more than 100 regions of the planet on the territory of Yونيтскі farm enterprise in Márina, Górka. The technology of relic solar bioenergy allows production of more than 1 ton of biohumus from a ton of brown coal. A ton of humus will enable to grow more than a ton of organic food. Therefore, annual extraction of 10 billion tons of brown coal and oil shale, which is approximately equal to their production by the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, will not only provide energy to 10 billion people at the rate of 2 kilowatts per person, but will also grant an opportunity to feed them with healthy and healing food. Moreover, it will allow us to stop desertification of the planet and annually raise the productivity of poor and desert soils to the level of black soil on the territory of about 30 million hectares, which exceeds the area of most European countries. Firstly, biohumus is at least 10 times more productive than any organic fertilizer. It contains a complex of nutrients, macro, micro, and ultra-micro elements, enzymes, and growth hormones, as well as humates and soil antibiotics. All this is necessary for proper growth and development of plants. Secondly, it is impossible to saturate the soil with biohumus. Throughout the entire development cycle, the plant will take as much nutrients as it needs. In each kilogram of organic biohumus lives up to 10 trillion beneficial bacteria, while, for example, in manure, there are only 200 to 300 billion.
в-третьих, по своим
Thirdly, Biohumus surpasses conventional organic fertilizers such as manure, poultry manure, sapropel and peat, which have been known for thousands of years. Unlike manure, biohumus is safe. There are no pathogens or fly larvae in it. Biohumus does not contain nitrates, heavy metals, pathogenic microflora, and weed seeds. Compared to even the last century, there is very little natural humus left on Earth, which has been accumulated over millions of years.
Животным в мире
Every year in the world, 12 million hectares of land turn into deserts, and 25 billion tons of fertile soil are lost. Therefore, mankind faces the urgent task of restoring the soil by creating new, living and fertile biohumus. From 300 trillion tons of organic matter of oil shale, we can get about 450 trillion tons of living humus with humidity of 50 to 60%. Adding about 10% of humus, this is the average value of humus content in fat-flat soils, to the top fertile layer of soil 30 to 40 centimeters thick, will be enough to turn 15 billion square kilometers of land into black soil farmland, which exceeds the land area of the Earth about 100 times, and the area of the entire surface of the Earth 29 times.
таким образом
Thus, the entire planet's land area can be turned not into a desert, but into a blooming garden, planted on the most fertile and life-perfect soil, rich black soil.
такая биоэнергетика
Such bioenergy will be virtually free for mankind, as the waste it produces, fertile humus, which will cost more on the market than oil, will pay for the production of electricity and heat. Healthy soil will allow the cultivation of organic and safe food, which will reduce many diseases and improve the life expectancy of every human being.
сегодня все
Today, all the above experiments have been successfully conducted in the Republic of Belarus on the territory of Yunitsky Farm Enterprise in Márina, Górka, and we are ready to share with the world this unique, nature and human-friendly biotechnology.